In fact, Margaret Atwood, the Canadian socialist feminist who wrote The Handmaid's Tale, she wrote it in the wake of the Iranian Revolution, when women were forced to wear much worse face-obscuring veils than in that novel. Thousands of women in Iran protested against their freedoms being taken away. Here is a picture of them. They did not want the veil to be brought in. They were protesting against being unpersoned. Iran, as you can see, was quite secular under the Shah. Look at those women. It was now moving back in time by 1,000 years. That was the political news that was in the background as Atwood wrote her feminist book, but she lacked the courage to take on Islam, or maybe she, like many other leftists who hate the West, always side with the West's enemies, whether during the Cold War it was siding with the Soviets or now the Islamists. But that's my point. The submission and subjugation of women is not a Christian specialty. There are occasional aberrations, but nothing as central, as doctrinal as the Quran and Sharia, with its rules on everything from, for example, that women need 4 witnesses to accuse a man of rape, or even that a woman's testimony is worth half of a man's, or a woman should get a half of an inheritance as a man. But the Handmaid's Tale demonizes only Christians, and it has been weaponized against Donald Trump to imply we're just moments away from that dystopian sexist future, this misogynistic rape slave future here in North America. Watch out, if Trump gets his way, we're going to be right there. And I'm not sure why. I mean, Trump himself has been married 3 times to models every time. He sure doesn't seem to insist on hijabs or niqabs in his real life. Unlike, for comparison, say, the leaders of Turkey and Pakistan. That's Imran Khan. He's the new leader of Pakistan. And that's his beautiful bride. At least I think that's who that is. I don't know. And here's a picture of the NATO wives. You see, second from the left there, that's Turkey's president's wife, Erdogan, on the second from the left there, wearing a hijab and other Handmaid's Tale type gear. Frankly, she looks a little bit like Hillary Clinton in that spacesuit there. And next to her is the lovely Melania Trump. We just don't treat women like that in the Christian West. It's just not a thing. Now, sometimes the Handmaid's Tale protests get it a bit wrong. Here's a picture of Alyssa Milano, who's an aging Hollywood actress. She was against Brett Kavanaugh and the Supreme Court nomination. She's posing like a character from The Handmaid's Tale, but she gets it wrong. She's got at least an hour's worth of makeup going on there. She looks beautiful. I mean, you can't deny it. She's a beautiful woman by nature, but she's on the wrong side of 45, and there's no way in hell she's going to post a picture of herself for the world without a lot of makeup and maybe some airbrushing. It would damage her career prospects to be au naturel like all the women are on Handmaid's Tale. So she's not quite doing the ultra-feminist thing right, is she? Take a look at these. Any Halloween store these days, you find a lot of sexy Handmaid's Tale costumes. Now, these ones here don't look particularly sexy, but there's other ones that are sexy because it's a joke, right? No one thinks that having to dress like a Handmaid's Tale woman is really a threat here, so we can laugh about it, we can joke about it. You don't see a lot of Halloween costumes with Muslim burqas or with hijabs, mainly because it's not funny and it's not escapist. It's not a fantasy. On Halloween, we dress up as a cowboy or an astronaut or a witch or a Frankenstein, because those are fantasies that will never, can never happen in real life, right? It's escapist. Same with a Handmaid's Tale sexy Halloween outfit. It's a fantasy where you make believe for a night, and it's fun. No one thinks that wearing a hijab or a niqab or a burqa is a fantasy, because we see them every day on the streets, and it's very real, and it's not fun or friendly at all, precisely because it's not a fantasy. It is here. It's not escapist. They're the ones who want to escape. Isn't that odd? That's an excerpt from my daily show, The Ezra Levant Show, weekdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Every day I do a monologue, interview a guest, and read my fan mail and my hate mail. To subscribe, go to therebel.media/shows.